There we go. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday, guys. Glad y'all are here. My name is Angel Falk. I'm the fitness angel, and I'm so excited about today's call because I'm past motherhood. But I have a dear friend who is in the midst of it. She has a 1.5-year-old, is expecting baby number 2, and she is a health nut. I love it. She has a passion for her faith, her family, her friends, and staying at home to raise her children and be there as a full-time mama. So I'm so excited. Allyson Andrews is going to be sharing. She lives here in Franklin, Tennessee with her husband, Will, and they are both entrepreneurs, and I love that. And Allyson is going to share her journey with taking Juice Plus. She found out about it while she was pregnant, and it was really cool. We met in a Facebook group for naturally minded moms, and she could tell more about that if she wants, but it was a fun way to get to know each other, and our friendship's grown, and I'm excited you get to hear from her. We also have Dr. Doug Odom here, who is an OBGYN, delivered over 17,000 babies. He knows everything about women's health and having healthy babies and healthy mamas. So he's going to be answering any of your questions. He's been with the Juice Plus company for a long time, 23 years, and is a 100+ club, a leader in our company, and a wonderful mentor to all of us who know him. So, all right, Allyson, I'm going to let you just take it away and tell us your journey with Juice Plus.
Okay, thank you so much. So like Angel said, well, I'll just start from the beginning. So I started Juice Plus probably 2-ish years ago. I was 4 months pregnant with Lila at the time, and I was literally living off of ginger ale and crackers, and I was just eating junk food when I did eat, and my body felt depleted. I knew that I needed more nutrients, and I just wanted more for my body and more for my baby, and so I was ready to make a change. So I posted in a naturally minded moms group in Facebook looking for a healthy cleanse or detox to do while I was pregnant. And pretty much everyone was like, no, you can't do that while you're pregnant. It's not healthy. It's not safe. And so I was kind of bummed out. That was not the answer I was looking for. And then Angel popped in and said that she had something that was safe and healthy for pregnant women. And so, of course, I wanted to know all about what she had to share. And so she private messaged me and told me all about our Shred program, which we can talk more about later. But once she shared with me what Juice Plus was, and I figured out that it's literally just fruits and vegetables in a capsule, plus we have a plant-based protein shake with 15 different superfoods in it, I was all in. I mean, that was easier than what I was looking for, honestly. It was in a capsule form, and I just had to take a pill. And so I was all in. I said, yes, give me all of it. And so we started out with everything. My husband and I started taking the capsules, and we started taking the shakes, drinking the shakes. And within 2 weeks, he started seeing results, which were kind of cool because he had more energy. And so he completely ditched energy drinks, which was like amazing to me because I would get so mad at him for drinking those. And I don't remember the last time he had one. So that's huge for me. He also used to eat a lot of fast food, and now he makes all of his breakfast at home, and he makes a point to come home for lunch. So he doesn't really eat out much anymore, which was also a big change for me and him mostly. And he also started exercising more and running some 5Ks with me, which when we started dating, I was like, he's never going to exercise with me. It's just my own thing. So he's seen some changes that have benefited both of us, and it's definitely just changed his health story. And so I've been super thankful that Juice Plus has done that for him. And then for me, on the other hand, while I was pregnant, I ditched my store-bought prenatals and just used Juice Plus as the prenatals because I knew it was just food. My body was going to absorb everything that was in it because it recognized everything that was in it. Versus the store-bought prenatals with isolated nutrients. My body didn't recognize everything, so I didn't really know what was being absorbed and what wasn't. So I felt comfortable doing that, and I'm using them this go around as my prenatals as well. And I haven't seen anything that's been bad about it. So also the cravings went away. And that was the main reason why I was looking for this. So I was eating healthy again. I was back on track. I felt more like myself. And I will say this go around, it has been completely different, but I have not eaten as bad as I did with my daughter. And so I'm super thankful that Juice Plus has just kind of helped me get in the nutrients I needed, and my body just feels better overall. I feel healthier in general. So that's been huge, and it makes you feel better too. During my first pregnancy and this one too, and even after pregnancy, I did this as well. I'll poke holes in the omegas, and I'll put it in my lotion and rub it on my face. And I rubbed it on my stomach as well to help prevent stretch marks and to help prevent acne and stuff. And I definitely think it helped. It didn't have any stretch marks, and my skin stayed pretty clear, which I was also drinking more water. So I was really hydrated because you need lots of water with the capsules. Let's see what else. Oh, I was able to exercise my entire pregnancy. So I had Lila at 41 weeks and 4 days. She was super late, but I had enough energy to exercise my entire pregnancy, and the Juice Plus helped with my recovery so that I could get back to it quickly. The shakes also helped. They have saved me during this pregnancy too. I drink one every single morning before I exercise. It just kind of gives me enough protein to get my morning and my day started. So the shakes are delicious as well. I'm sorry, excuse me 1 second. My husband's not home and Lila just fell out of her chair. I'm sorry.
We can all relate, right? Who in here has children? I'm thinking everybody. I know one person just popped in. I can't see your name, but oh, look at Lauren's baby. We can all relate. I wish I knew about Juice Plus when I have little ones. Mine are 23 and 20. Is that crazy? Lauren, I think you have the youngest in the group. There's Lila.
Sorry, this is the beauty of the business. I tried to put her show on and give her snacks to keep her occupied, and I just heard a thump, and then she started crying. So
we're glad she's here.
That's okay. Anyways, I think I was at the exercise part, and I was getting to the end of it anyway. So anyways, now I'm out of breath. Give me a second. I got my notes over here. I'm wondering where I left off, and now I'm a little frazzled.
That you exercised all the way through to 41 weeks.
Yes, and had enough energy to do so, and then the recovery with the Juice Plus capsules and shakes was great to help me be able to do that. And then I had her at home, and like I said, 41 weeks and 4 days. She was 9 pounds, which to me for my first child, I thought was huge. But she was so healthy, and that's why, and probably because she was late also. But I just remember my midwife talking about how healthy my placenta was. And I didn't really know anything about placenta. Dr. Odom might be able to share something about that. But I was like, it's got to be the Juice Plus. That's the only thing I know it could be. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then my postpartum experience. I did not expect this, and this is actually like the coolest part to me, because I was eating so much junk the first 4 months of my pregnancy. I just thought that I had gained all this weight, and I was like, oh, it's going to take forever to fall off, because that's what everyone always tells you. But within a week, I bounced back, and I had lost 5 pounds. And so I was completely shocked and did not think that that would happen. And I was sharing that with Angel. And so she was explaining that the Juice Plus, it was definitely the Juice Plus, because fat accumulates in our cells and holds onto the toxins, but the antioxidants in our plant powders bind to the toxins in our cells and help expel them. So my cells had been cleansed because I had taken Juice Plus for over 4 months, and the fat had nothing to hold on to. So it kind of just all fell off. And to me, I was just like amazed. And I was like, well, I'll definitely never go a day without taking my Juice Plus, because this is really cool. And I just wasn't expecting it. Everyone tells you it's going to take forever to lose baby weight, and that was not the case for me. So I was very thankful and grateful that I had Juice Plus for that reason, and because I had a very healthy child as well. So I thought that was cool. And then fast forward to 6 months, when Lila starts consuming whole foods. I got to see Dr. Bill Sears, famous pediatrician. He calls it the sprinkle test, where you open up the capsules and you just kind of sprinkle it on the baby's tongue, and it sends signals to their brain that they love fruits and vegetables, and then eventually they start craving them. And I have definitely seen that to be true, because Lila literally eats everything. I'll get messages asking how I get her to eat the food that she eats, and I'm like, it's probably the Juice Plus, because she loves fruits and vegetables. She loves literally any food. And at 14 months, I started giving her the chewables, and she is literally obsessed with them. And I have to hide them because she would eat the entire bag if I let her, which is a good thing. And she can't overdose on them. So there are days where she gets extra, just especially during this time of the year and everything that's been going on. I'm thankful that I'm able to give her extra without it harming her or anything like that. She might just go to the bathroom a little bit more often. So yay for me if I have to change extra diapers, but that's okay. And she has never had any sick visits. She's just had minor colds and stuff, but she's never had to go to the doctor or anything to be sick. And that is true for myself as well. I can't remember the last time I've been sick. My husband, on the other hand, he's still healthy, but not as healthy as me. But I'm thankful for our health, honestly. I mean, Juice Plus has literally changed our lives. And I actually did start the business after I started taking the capsules, and I get to stay home with Lila. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and it was kind of scary going from 2 incomes to 1, but we made the switch, and it's been the best decision ever, because I get to stay home with Lila. I don't have to miss any of her milestones. I get to be present with her, and we have so much fun together. I get to do this business from wherever I want, when I want, as much or as little as I want. And I get to bless other families and transform their health, as well as my own and our families. And I also get to help my husband with income. So it's literally been the best of both worlds. And it has definitely brought me out of my comfort zone, because I'm on here on Zoom sharing my story, and I never thought that I would be doing that either. So it's definitely been positive all around. So I'm super thankful that Angel shared this with me, and that I was able to be a part of this mission and get to meet Dr. Odom and all of you guys and stuff. So I appreciate y'all hopping on and listening. Sorry for the little interruption, but that's just part of it. So if you guys have any questions for me, I'd love to answer anything. Dr. Odom's on here, so he has a lot more insight than I do. So thank you, Angel. And if I missed anything that you want me to share, just let me know.
I thought everything you shared was beautiful. I actually got tears in my eyes, because when you said I get to be home with Layla, that's like huge.
Mm-hmm. So
many women would do anything to not have to go put their children in daycare. And right now, so many women are forced to be home, to work from home. It's hard, but they want to be able to have that income to be able to stay home. And I think it's the most beautiful gift. To me, it's the most honorable job, is to be a mother. It's the most important job to me ever, to raise a human. So thank you. I thought it was beautiful. And Dr. Odom, when she mentioned the placenta, I saw you nodding your head, and I remember reading something about the mamas you had on. They had bigger umbilical cords, or just explain that a little bit.
Well, sure, but first I want to say that was a great journey. I've enjoyed every bit of that story, and everything that came out of her mouth, it was a teaching moment. I mean, everything that you mentioned just really embellishes why Juice Plus, why it's so important, why, and so many things that it does. And it's not just the taste; it's so many other biochemical changes that are occurring in the body. But when you look at the mother and the baby, and then they're 2 separate entities, but the placenta is the interface for the 2. And so the placenta needs to be healthy so that it can pass nourishment and oxygen to the baby, and then help the baby get rid of the waste back through the mama and then through her excretory systems. But with better nutrition, everything's better. It's so simplistic. But I've heard stories about the placenta. I've heard stories about weighing the placenta and comparing them to non-Juice Plus moms. I've heard stories about looking at the vessels in the placenta, and even doing microscopic evaluations of the placenta. But just better nutrition helps everything. It helps the baby. It helps the offspring. It helps those new cells multiply and divide and grow and develop. And she's about as perfect as you can get. And you don't have to be perfect to have perfect children. But when your diet is very, very close to perfect, then you're giving yourself so much better odds that your baby is going to be that much healthier. So kudos for you for buying into this all the way, and not just adding Juice Plus, but changing your diet all at the same time. So that was a great story and a great message. And well done.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
I think we ought to spend the last 10 minutes just looking at her.
I thought I was unmuted the whole time. That's so funny. Whoops. I was going to say exactly what Allyson said. Does anybody have questions? And I was actually looking at Lauren, because I know you have a baby. Were you on Juice Plus with your pregnancy?
Yes, I was the whole time. And before, I've been on it for 5 years. So I was on it before we got pregnant and the whole pregnancy, and actually tripled up I doubled up during the most of the pregnancy, and the third trimester, I tripled up, and I stayed tripled up for probably 3 months postpartum, just to kind of help my body. And yeah, I echo everything that Allyson said, like literally everything I can relate to. And yeah. So I do have a question though, if you don't mind me asking. I was wondering, I get this question all the time. I'm also a partner with a company. So a lot of pregnant women are concerned about the folate, and if Juice Plus provides enough folate for pregnancy, because I know it's so important to make sure you're getting enough folate. And that's a part of the prenatals. I never took a prenatal my whole pregnancy, and we were fine, just like Allyson, but I was just wondering if Dr. Odom wouldn't mind addressing that.
Well, hey, Lauren, and congratulations to you. Haven't seen you in a bit, but look
Thank
forward
you.
to the next time. Yeah, great seeing you this morning. Well, folate is a very important B vitamin, and that's one of the big issues in our country. We don't get enough across the board folate. That's not just moms or potential moms, pregnant moms, nursing moms, but everybody. And most of us realize that folic acid is man-made, and that methylfolate is the natural form, and it's found in food, and it's found primarily in the green leafies. That in our vegetable blend, we have 5 sources of just greens, but virtually every plant has some folate. Others just have higher concentrations. But cabbage and spinach, broccoli, kale, even the parsley that we don't normally eat, is a great source of folate. So just think folate is foliage. So just, grass clippings, you don't want to eat those, but anything that's green is beneficial. But there are other food sources too, especially yellow foods, orange foods have a fair amount of folate. When you consider that the recommended folate amount is 400 micrograms. And years ago, when the company was really publishing this information, and we were all so concerned about folic measurements and how it reduces or helps prevent neural tube defects like spina bifida. The average American diet should be consuming about 400 micrograms. Juice Plus added, if I've got the numbers right at 400, like 390 micrograms. So it's important for us to not depend just on our Juice Plus, but to depend on our diet as well. And some of you have heard me say that I like to start with the idea of Juice Plus is my foundation. It's my foundational nutrition. And then the foods that we choose to eat every day will add to that. So especially when you're pregnant, it's very important to be eating folate-rich foods. And that's plant food, any plants, but especially the green ones. So we can very easily consume enough that we're protected against neural tube issues. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. And what about the doubling and then tripling up? Do you recommend that to all pregnant mamas?
Well, again, I'm not delivering now, but things haven't changed in the 6 years since I stopped. But it's still recommended that we eat a healthy diet. Most people in this country, pregnant or not, are not doing that. So Juice Plus can play a huge role. And you said it, Allyson, if we can just eat balanced nutrition, and that's what is in each of our powders. It's the contributions from multiple different foods, like 10 and 11 different foods in each of our blends. So when we're balanced to begin with, well, then you can consume more because it's not going to hurt you because it's balanced. Whereas if it's an artificial fragmented form, which is what we get in vitamins, you can overdose those. And we learned that lesson years ago with too much of the iron or too much of vitamin A or these man-made ingredients. But when it's food, it's just extra spinach and tomatoes and broccoli. I like to tell people cranberries, grapes, pineapple. And the real benefit with the Juice Plus is you're not adding calories because most of the sugar and calories have been removed. So what you're really getting are complex carbs, which are phytonutrients that benefit the body without having to deal with sugar, glycemic index, and the inflammation that's associated with the sugar that's in the foods. So in my opinion, what we're doing is we're adding the best of the best, and we have such a variety, and that's what's missing in so many other people's diets too, is eating lots and lots and lots of different foods every day. So if you started with everything that we have, including our complete powder, and you mentioned it, 15 foods, Allyson. When you look at everything we have, including our Mega Blend, we're looking right at 50 foods. What a great variety to start with. And then when you're adding whatever you're eating that's got real fiber and real phytonutrients, boy, that's a way to really, and do it every day, every day, every day. That's a way to have the healthiest pregnancy that you can have.
Yeah, that's perfect. Does anybody else have another question? Good.
So what's the best way for the children to get the Juice Plus? Is it through the capsules that are torn apart, or it's okay for them to have the gummies? Like under a year old, if they don't have, well, I guess if they're under a year old, they can't chew, but what would be the best way for the children?
I'll say with Lila, I did she got a lot of teeth kind of early, but I would cut the chewables in half when she was 14 months old. She had them prior to a year old, but I just wasn't really comfortable doing that. So you can open up the powders and mix them into food also. I did that a lot of times, or I would just kind of sprinkle it on like a banana with peanut butter. Or just, like I said, put it on your finger and put it in their mouth. But if they have teeth and you're comfortable with them chewing a chewable, you can cut it in half for them and they can eat it whenever you prefer. But I waited till 14 months to give them to her fully.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. One time I saw a huge video Allyson did feeding Lila Megan. She poked a hole and you poured it in a little raspberry.
Yeah.
She ate it right up and loved it. That was so creative. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to just poke a hole and just squeeze them in her mouth, but sometimes it's just easier to put it in a food because she loves food. So I don't know if Lauren does anything different. I'm not sure how old Paxton is, but does he eat the chewables, or do you just give him the powders?
Yeah, I give him the powders. I usually mash up an avocado and just dump all 3. I do a full capsule a day for him now, so I dump all 3 powders, the red, the green, and the purple, in like a mashed avocado, and sometimes I put a little applesauce in it just to make it sweet, and I'll feed it to him that way. And then with the omegas, I do just use a little scissor. I use some scissors and just poke a hole in it and squeeze it into his mouth. And then, there's sometimes a little bit left over, so I'll throw that in my mouth and swallow it. So we're not wasting anything. But he's too young to have the gummies. He's only got a few teeth, so that's the only reason why we don't do the gummies. But I have heard of people putting the gummies. I'm sorry, my son's playing with all the pots and pans in the background. That's why it's loud. But you can put the gummies in their sippy cup in their water and have them sip on it through the day, and it makes it taste really yummy, kind of just like a little bit sweet, like kind of like a juice, and it'll dissolve in just a few hours, and they can drink it too if they don't want to chew it.
Yeah, I've seen Allyson do videos of that too.
Yes, I did that once for Lila, but she wasn't really a fan, so it was probably just her. She'd rather eat them.
And I see in the chat, Maria quartered up the gummies for her 8-month-old. And Paula mashed up a banana and mixed 3 blends in. Very good, very good. To eat the chewables when we started. And I started finding the green ones in the plant by the front door. So just a word, make sure your kids are swallowing. Yeah, because sometimes they prefer one flavor over the other if they like the reds better. So I would make them eat the greens and the purples first, and then they get the red. But everybody's different. So I think it's great to start them young, because I didn't know about it till my kids were 12 and 15. So they were a little sneakier at that time. Well, all right, guys. Oh, did you have something else to
I
add?
was just going to say one more thing that I thought of. If you do the complete shakes, or I guess any kind of shake, you can also just dump the capsules in there and blend them up into the shake, and they can get the powders that way. Lila has had the shakes since she was 6 months old too, so they're safe for all ages. And if you don't want to give them the powders, you can just dump them in the shakes too, and that's another way to get them.
That's awesome. And yeah, the shakes are so yummy. I have the chocolate here in the single serve. It also comes in vanilla, and I love it. Everything's non-GMO. Like we said earlier, 15 superfoods, perfect balance of protein and fiber, which we know, if you've learned anything about gut health, fiber is what we need in our gut, and that's going to help your immune system. And then I love these little pocket packs. You can get these as well as in the bags for the chewables. Some people like to get these for their kids for snacks or the lunch box, or to share with your friends if they want to try it and make sure they like it. And then we also have, of course, I have the whole quad, like Dr. Odom said, everything, eat the rainbow every day. It's got plant foods. That's all it is, plant food. It has a nutrition label, so I love that. And, we just always want to invite everybody to make a decision today. We have 3 choices here. 1, get the free resources. We have free ebooks with exercise, with recipes, with webinars on all kinds of subjects. So while you're cleaning house, or if you have to drive, you've got something that's going to help you get healthier to listen to. Also, you can get started on Juice Plus, and you can sponsor your child or your grandchild or niece or nephew, any child that's special to you, and they actually get free fruits and veggies. And that is awesome, and they can do that for 4 years. So we love that program. And then the third option is to join our mission. Maybe you want to be home with your babies. Maybe you want to be home with your dog. Maybe you don't want to be trapped in an office. Maybe you just have a passion for sharing health. And it's not about the money at all. It's not about anybody else, but it's something for you, for yourself. It's your passion you love to do. Like me in my 50s, I love this. I love this community, and it is true. You become like the people you hang out with the most. So if you want to be healthier, hang out with healthy people. right? If you want to be smarter, hang out with smart people. So I just want to encourage you to make a decision. Get with the person who invited you today. I did record this, so I'm going to share it on my YouTube channel, so I'll have a link. If you want the link, let me know. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Allyson, for sharing. Thank you, Dr. Odom, for sharing your wisdom. Y'all can unmute yourself.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.